book. I actually love it so much. Really just straight into this book. Like there's no hesitation. We're straight back into action. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be trying something I have never done before, but it just sounds really fun in my mind. I am very much overdue for a bookish day, a bookish themed day, just catching up on everything, picking new reads, maybe ordering more books, catching up on my reading journal, and possibly making some bookmarks, like all that kind of stuff. But because I have so much to do, I figure I'm not going to leave the choices up to me of what we do today. I'm going to leave them up to Pinterest. You might be asking what on earth I mean by that, and to be honest, I have a very vague idea of how Pinterest is going to help me choose what I do today, but like it's going to be fun. I feel like if there's one app that knows me so incredibly well, it is Pinterest, because I just feel like it knows my aesthetic, it knows what I like, it knows what books I like, it knows what music I like, it literally knows what food I like. So whenever I have a decision that I need to make today, I'm just going to go into Pinterest and either just scroll down my feed page until I find something that makes the decision for me. For example, if we're going to choose coffee or matcha, I'll just scroll on my feed page until we find a coffee or matcha, because I love both, and like I'm always saving aesthetic pictures of both, but like we'll see which one comes up first, and that'll determine what I'm going to have. I hope that makes sense. We're going to do the same with picking new reads, whether I should reorganize my bookshelf or decorate my bookshelf, anything like that. So yeah, we're just going to be leaving it up to Pinterest, and whilst doing that, we'll just be having a fun bookish day together. I feel like our first course of action today is picking a book to read for today. I just finished my most recent vlog, which is where you guys chose what I read for a week, but I did stray from my TBR, so I kind of want to pick something from my TBR, but also Pinterest is going to help me to pick that. So yeah, I feel like first course of action is pick a book, because obviously we're going to be reading together today. As I said, I feel like I'd love to pick something from my TBR. So I'll go through the kind of books that are on my radar, and I think the way we're going to pick this is by finding a TBR prompt on Pinterest, because I use Pinterest for all of my TBR prompts. The books I'm kind of thinking of: Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark. This only came out in January, and I'm super excited to read this one. The more I hear about it, the more excited I get to read it, honestly. It is a YA fantasy romance, and I think we are set in Rome, which I didn't know until recently, and I find that fascinating, and it is between demons and exorcists. And I do think there is an academy setting as well. It's really giving everything I love in my YA romantasy book, or just in my fantasy romance books in general. Another book I am dying to get to is The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni. This is the third book in the Prison Healer trilogy, which I am absolutely falling in love with. Lynette Noni is one of my favorite authors. In my most recent video, I actually read Wandering Wild, which comes out in April of 2025. This is her first ever contemporary romance, and it was so much fun. The characters, like, I loved them so much. I found this also really interesting because there was this whole character dynamic in it. She said in like the little note prefacing this book that it is a very personal book, and she like put a lot of herself into her characters. As I said, Wandering Wild really explores both romantic and friendship character dynamics, which I think is a very, very prevalent topic, and it is something I really relate to. I speak from personal experience when I say all kinds of relationships can be incredibly complicated, not just the romantic ones. I personally have always struggled to understand whether my needs are validated or I am just being dramatic, and I constantly am putting people before myself, which has ultimately influenced a lot of my relationships, including even my family dynamics. That being said, all relationships are very complicated, and I find it really hard to validate my feelings. But like me, you don't need to keep asking these questions into just an endless void. Today's paid partnership, BetterHelp, can provide you with therapists that match your needs and help answer your questions. Instead of constantly questioning yourself, you can actually talk through your relationship concerns with someone who is qualified and trained to help you find the real answers. With BetterHelp, you can easily get matched with a therapist by answering a simple questionnaire, and if that therapist isn't the right fit for you, you can easily switch therapists with no additional costs. They make sure that every therapist is well qualified, and their customer support team is always there to help you. Not to mention, BetterHelp has over 7,000 reviews and an average rating of 4.5 stars. Trust me when I say going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. Every type of relationship can be improved in therapy, not just the romantic ones. You can use my link in the bio or go to betterhelp.com/FreyaValerio to get 10% off your first month of therapy. I'm a huge advocate for therapy, so thank you so much to BetterHelp for this paid partnership in this portion of the video. With that being said, Lynette Noni is quickly becoming one of my favorite authors, and Blood Trader is definitely very high up on my TBR. Another book that I'm really interested in is Cleopatra and Frankenstein. I really want to read something by Coco Malors, and I think this would be really, really interesting. So that's also really high up on my TBR. And then if we want another fantasy book, we also have Feybound, which is an adult fantasy book. I was surprised when I read the back and it said it had Fae in it, and then I realized it's literally in the name, and I felt very, very stupid. Anyway, this is one I've been avoiding because I'm a little bit scared about it, but like also really intrigued. So let's see what Pinterest picks, shall we? Okay, I'm going to type into Pinterest pretty much just TBR prompts because I feel like that'll be the best to pick with. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. So the top two prompts are a reread of an old favorite and read the next book in a series. I feel like that is so easy, and I think I'm gonna have to physically basically stop myself from picking up Keeping 13 because I've been wanting to reread this for such a long time. But like my two options for that are Keeping 13 and obviously The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni, which I'm really excited about. I don't know. I'm really confused. No, I should do this. I should do The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni. But like if I start this and I'm just craving and cannot stop thinking about Keeping 13, I mean, we can start Keeping 13. We don't have to finish it like today. It can just be like on the back burner whenever I feel like it. I can just pick up and be in the Boys of Tommen universe. Why don't we just keep both? These can just both be our picks for today. I also really want to make some bookmarks today because I think that's just a really fun, cozy activity. So of course, Pinterest is going to help us decide. I'm going to just type in bookmarks as usual. First ones that come up, oh my god, this is so cute, is this little one. They're like the bookmark charm things, I guess you call them. That is so cute. There are also some like really cute ones that I want to make in the future. Like these ones, they're like little tea bags, but they're bookmarks. How cute is that? Okay, we're definitely gonna make some charms though. That actually works really well because I do have one bookmark charm that I made myself and I always get questions about it. So you guys can finally see how I make it. Okay, next order of business is definitely a matcha or a coffee because I need a little bit of caffeine. I'm just thirsty. We just need a drink. We're gonna go onto Pinterest. Actually, I'm gonna reload it. This could go either way. I think whatever I have, I'll have it iced because it is so ridiculously hot right now. Just scroll. Oh, okay, well that was easy. Opening the home feed straight away. And the first thing that pops up is this photo, which has a gratitude journal, a Mac, and an iced matcha. This is perfect. I was craving an iced matcha. Okay, great. Like it's not even a warm matcha, it's an iced matcha. That's wonderful. Just down there was a coffee, so it literally could have been either. Matcha was what we saw first. Matcha is what we're having. Let's go make a matcha. I feel like it's really fun to have your own little style of how you make matchas and coffees and everything like that. I'm always a matcha girl. Like I've always loved matcha for like years now. That's always been something that kind of bugs me, like when I'm scrolling on TikTok and I'll see comments being like, oh my god, that's not a good matcha. That matcha is like really bad color. That's not green enough, blah, blah, blah. Like if they're liking that matcha, let them have it. Anyway, but that being said, let's make my version of matcha. I like to do it with coconut water, maple syrup, and milk. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a non-sweetened matcha, but sometimes on like hot days, it just hits so well. So I use this bookmark pretty much every single time I read, and I always get questions on where I got it. I actually made this quite a while ago, and I thought, why not just make another one? Because I only have the one and I use it all the time, and sometimes it's fun to like color code your books. The actual like bookmark part is just like a piece of old plastic that I cut into it. But today I'm gonna be using this little bookmark that was sent to me by the Cozy Read Shop, and it is all these little stacks of books with different tropes on them. It's actually so cute. We're gonna be using this as like the base for it, and then we're gonna do a little like dangly thing off it, and that way it's like so cute for little romance reads. Now I made this up. I don't know how to actually do this. I don't know if there's a proper way. I don't know. This has lasted me about a year so far, so I mean I guess they're like okay quality, but I don't know if there's like a better way to do this. But basically I just have a bunch of little beads. They're all like these different colors. You can even like, if you have leftover friendship bracelet beads, that would be so cute from like the Eras tour. But it's basically like making a friendship bracelet. You can just string on whatever beads you want, except the main thing to remember is to have enough string, like more than a friendship bracelet, because like that's quite a lot of string. I think I'm gonna use a white thread today, and this one's really thin, so I'm gonna double. So we have about this much in length. It is probably just over double the size of the actual bookmark, and you just want enough to be able to like thread it through so you have a bit of, I don't know, you have a bit of like room to kind of act as the actual bookmark, like an extender of the bookmark almost. All we're gonna do from here is thread on some beads. I don't know what kind of style we're going for yet, but let's just start threading them on. Oh, one more thing, you don't want to thread them onto the very bottom, probably about, I'm gonna go here, so leave about maybe like just under 10 centimeters and then go from there up. Okay, I've threaded my little beads. I actually really like how it turned out. I wasn't liking the color combo with the bits of red, but then I was like, you know what, no, this is actually really cute. And I just put a little Taylor song on there, like a friendship bracelet. I just put August. Next, if you had a hole puncher, this would be a lot easier. However, I do not have a hole punch, so I'm going to be using a pin to make a hole. I'm gonna make a hole on the top of the bookmark. Okay, so I feel like you don't want to do it too close to the edge, maybe like here. I don't know, we're just gonna go for it. Like this. Okay, hole is there. You can't really see it because it's so small, but that's okay because we have such thin thread to be working with. Basically, I'm just going to thread this through here and kind of just tie it at whatever height I think. If that makes sense, I'll show you. So we have tied our little bookmark on. Because this string that I used isn't as like strong as the other one I used, I don't have any of this left. I didn't leave like as big as a gap. Obviously this is also a bit bigger though, so it kind of works out fine. That's a little bookmark. It'll be so cute in little romance books and stuff. Like, are you kidding? Oh my god, I love it so much. Okay, next on the agenda, I have a bit of book mail to open, and then we're gonna try and reorganize my bookshelves because they don't need a lot. This one over here needs a little bit more, but they need a little bit just because I've gotten new books recently. But hang on, let me show you this book mail I got. Penguin is like the kindest people ever. They literally spoil me all the time. And today we have like a literal whole box, a little like pamphlet of what the book is, and it is called Nightweaver. Look how fun this looks. Clearly it is a fantasy book, I think a fantasy romance, and it says Pirates of the Caribbean meets the modern fantasy romance of Powerless. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love like pirate fantasies, and there's just not enough, I don't think. So this is so exciting. Also, the box is so cute. We have so many little things. The first thing that's like immediately standing out to me is a literal necklace. Sorry, I'm shaking like crazy, but it's a little shell with a pearl next to it. Are you serious? It's so pretty. And then we also have all these like chocolate golden coins. If you live in Australia, you'll be very familiar with these. Like, I'm guessing like pirate treasure almost. And then we also have a little bottle with a scroll in it. Hang on, let me open this. Okay, this is the little note that comes. Hang on, let me put this down so I can read it. Okay, so in this little bottle was a little note. How, like, I love their PR packages. They're so on theme. And it says, Freya, the high seas are calling your name. Adventure awaits. Maddie and Georgie. I'm gonna put this back in because that is so cute. Are you serious? I am so excited about that. I am definitely gonna be putting that on my TBR for the next month because are you serious? That sounds so much fun. Oh my god, I wanna put that on my bookshelf. That's so cute. Might do a few other things, like I might maybe paint my nails and stuff or something like that. I don't know, do some like little cute fun activities. Yes, this is a bookish day, but also it's kind of just like a girl therapy day. That's what I call it. I just do everything that kind of makes me happy, like almost a mental health reset. But now I think I'm going to read for a little bit. I don't exactly know what I'm going to read yet. It's either going to be obviously Keeping 13 or The Prison Healer, like we chose before. Sorry, not The Prison Healer, The Blood Trader, the third book in The Prison Healer. I don't know exactly what I feel like. I might see if this one is on Spotify, The Blood Trader, because then I can listen to it as an audiobook as I like paint my nails or something. But then also like I am so just craving to get back into this world of Boys of Tommen. It's been like 2 years since I read the first two, so like Binding and Keeping 13, and I feel like it's just, I reread Binding 13 at the end of last year, and I just really have been craving a reread of Keeping 13. I kind of forgot where it left off, except if I reread it, I feel like I want to read my indie version because I read these before they were traditionally published. The only thing about the indie versions is look how small that font is, and it's like a big page. It shows how like big the actual books are. But yeah, I'm so glad I got the first two in the indie versions. I don't have the rest of the series. Like I don't have Saving and Redeeming 6, which makes me pretty sad, but they were like literally $50 Australian. I might start this. I really want to annotate it when I reread it. I think if we do audiobook, I'm going to listen to The Blood Trader, and if I just kind of feel like a comfort reread, we'll do this. I just painted my nails. I I still have to fix them up a little bit, and we're just waiting for the top coat to dry. As I listened to some of my audiobook and started The Blood Trader by Lynette Noni. I'm so excited to be back in this world. I literally love this world so much. I can't believe how quickly I've like fallen in love with it, and it's just entirely consumed me, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm obsessed. I'm so happy to be back. It's getting quite late in the afternoon now, but I figure we probably have time for one more bookish activity. This, I don't really have a plan. I think I'm literally going to open Pinterest and just scroll and see what pops up first, because my feed is very like bookish and creative. Sorry, the lighting just changed completely, but I feel like there'll be something that pops up. So let's open Pinterest. Okay, already there's something that pops up, which is like journaling, which I feel like is probably going to be the best option for us, which is perfect because I do have quite a little bit of my book journal to update. I have some little like personal journal stuff I want to do, but I do have my book journal to update because I finished a few books and I haven't added them into my book journal. I don't do like a crazy intricate book journal or anything. It's basically just so I can track my reads, because I'm terrible at tracking them on like Goodreads and Fable, and I'm really bad. So this year I'm trying to do like a book journal that's very simple, doesn't have to be aesthetic, but it's just nice and easy for me to follow. So every time I have a wrap up, I can go through my stats and know what I read, how many books I read, what genres they were they from my TBR, everything like that. It just makes it a little bit easier for me. So this is basically my reading journal. I keep it very simple. If you see 2023 written on the front there, and if you're anything like me, you'll understand this. I am someone who gets so many different types of journals, and then like this planner, I can't use anymore, obviously, it's so old. So I've kind of decided to like repurpose it, and I've just been sticking pages in over the top to use it as my reading journal, because as I said, I'm not going for anything crazy aesthetic. We're just doing simple, and that way I get to reuse it, be a little bit more environmentally friendly, all that kind of stuff. As I said, very simple. Basically the first page, this layout, is just tracking every single book I read this year, just the amount of books I read this year. So every time I read a book, I just color it in. Like at the top, I have read 17 books so far this year, and then these are just my January reads. I just had my TBR and I crossed out the ones that I actually read, and then I had all my books, which is a total of 10 books, and my ratings of them. And then here for February, we have our February TBR. As you can see, I've only read one. That is why we're starting The Blood Trader, and then all the books I've read so far, which is about 7 so far, which I'm pretty happy with. But we keep it very simple. I just wanted to set a like journaling goal that I actually could reach. As much as I love aesthetic journaling, I know that I'll commit to it for like a few months, and I'll just end up forgetting about it and starting something else, because I'm that kind of person. I have a million hobbies. So I figure I'm going to try out this year with just doing little basic hobbies and doing a very basic reading journal, and just see how I go with that. As much as I would love to just cozy up with a tea right now and read, it is just way too hot. It is way too hot for a tea and to be cozying up. It is in the middle of summer still in Australia, and whilst Melbourne thought it was winter for a second and had a few days of extremely cold weather, we are back to like 35 degrees Celsius. So I will not be having a tea right now. That'll be for later tonight, but I am going to read. We're going to continue with The Blood Trader just because I just am already obsessed with it. Like, I'm already so excited to be back in that world. I love that even the prologue has set us up for like such an interesting book, and so many of you have said to me that this is your favorite book in the series, which makes me so nervous, but it also makes me so excited. I kind of don't want to finish this series, but I do have the Whisper Duology that I can read by Lynette Noni. I haven't read that, and I do have the first book in that, so I could go on to that if I'm craving some more Lynette Noni, because like she does have just this way of writing. Just straight into this book. Like, there's no hesitation. We're straight back into action. There are only a few chapters into The Blood Trader, but it is already so good. I'm so excited to continue this tonight. But I think for today we are going to end this video here because it is already getting close to dinner time and I just feel like having a shower and getting in my PJs and watching a movie or something and having some good dinner. But this has been a very needed day. I think it's so important for anyone to have like these little mental health days where you just do what makes you feel good. Thrive off the little things. I thrive off doing little cozy hobbies. In winter I'm going to be starting crocheting again, which I'm so excited for. I just love cozy hobbies. This is your sign to just like stop for a second. I know it can be extremely difficult, but just stop for a second and let yourself get excited over little things like updating your book journal, getting a new book. Speaking of new books, I have been dying to get this new book called The Favorites, I think it is. It is apparently like Taylor Jenkins Reid meets Magnolia Parks, which, are you serious? Taylor Jenkins Reid, my all-time favorite romance author. Magnolia Parks, one of my all-time favorite series. So I've been really wanting to get that, but it just hasn't been in stock in any shops near me. So I think I'm gonna have to order it online. But I am focusing on my TBR before I get to that one. Maybe we'll put it on my March TBR, who knows. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you had fun hanging out with us. I'll see you very, very soon. I've got a lot of exciting videos coming up. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you had fun hanging out. I love you all so, so much. I can't wait to see you in my next video.